Hello, and welcome to the Smut Show,
a weekly podcast from your new internet book besties.
We discuss all things spicy books and mix in a little bit of motherhood, life, self-care, and everything in between.
So sit back,
grab a beverage,
and let's chat.
Hello, and welcome to the Smut Show. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Neely, and we are joined by Lauren Blakely, a #1 New York Times bestselling, #1 Wall Street Journal bestselling, #1 Audible bestselling author. Lauren Blakely is known for her contemporary romance style that's sexy, feel-good, and witty.
Her books have been featured in Us Weekly, Us Weekly.
What is wrong with
Y'all,
you?
I'm like, I read that and I was like, oh, what's Us Weekly? No.
You're
Weekly.
fired.
I am fired. I was like, oh, Us Weekly. No, that's not what it's called. It's called Us Weekly. And people, Lauren likes dogs, cake, and show tunes. And that's
oh my God.
I love that. And she is the vegetarian at your dinner party, which, you know, we need to talk more about that, I feel like.
Okay, wait, really
we'll
quick.
Dive deeper into that.
Lauren, welcome to the podcast. And guys.
Yes, welcome.
I could wait.
Neely and Rachel, it's great to be here.
I need to tell y'all, speaking of the vegetarian at your dinner party, last night Andrew and I watched that Christmas movie that's on Amazon with Michelle Pfeiffer and Dennis Leary. It's like, what fun.
I haven't watched it yet, but
okay, don't. But okay, I will say the first half is great, and we were like, this is so cute, and then it like kind of got depressing. But what I will say is like one of the daughters comes home and she's like, by the way, Donna is a vegan, and it's the mom's literally like plating dinner. And I was like, she's like, just whatever, you can whip her up. And I'm like,
that's hard to
yeah. I'm like, well,
stressed.
There's nothing.
Maybe, but like whipping up vegan is not easy.
Not going to happen. I also need y'all to know, since this is an audio medium, and you can't see, Lauren's got the cutest elf.
She is so festive
on.
Today.
And like, I can't see all of your sweater, but it is like, it's a reindeer
it's
sweater.
A reindeer.
It's so cute.
She quite literally looks like she's leaving the podcast and going directly to a holiday party.
She does. She looks almost like she wrote a Christmas romance. It's almost like
spoilies.
That happened.
All right. Before we get into the Christmas of it all, or maybe this will be partially mine are, but should we do some 1s and 5s?
Let's do some 1s and 5s. Neely, would you like to start us off this week?
Sure. So my 5 is that we had a really like merry little holiday weekend on Friday. We're recording this on Monday the 8th, and this is airing tomorrow. So this is really timely. I feel like Rachel and I never record stuff that's airing immediately. So like what I'm telling you just happened. We went, my best friend and I every year do our like area's holiday home tour. And so we like do that, and then we go and have like a little Christmassy lunch. So we did that on Friday. And then on Saturday, Liam had his Christmas piano recital. He played Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, as he would, because he's so pure. And he insisted on wearing a tie. So he wore like a button down, a tie, and then a Christmas like red sweater over it. It was very cute.
I like that.
And then yesterday I took Charlotte to the Nutcracker. And so it was just like very...
You were so holiday this weekend.
We did so much holiday stuff, but it was like really nice. And it almost kind of made me sad. I feel like we only have 2 more weekends before Christmas, and I feel like it's going really fast. And like,
yeah,
I mean, ask me again in like a week, I might be like ready for it to be over. But right now I'm really enjoying it. It's like finally cold in Dallas. So it's finally starting to like feel
very cold.
Christmassy, and I'm just like not ready for the holidays to end, like, yeah, I feel like I will change my mind.
Everybody is December 8th, so mark that down.
But you know what I mean? But like I do. But like it feels like sometimes like for me, just going from Thanksgiving to now has felt really fast. I'm like,
and we had a really late Thanksgiving this year too.
And that might be
that's
why.
Part of it. Yeah, for sure.
I do think that's why. Because I mean, a couple years ago, Charlotte's birthday was on Thanksgiving, and her birthday is the 23rd. So like
it was very late this year.
I guess that happens. But yeah, I mean, it was just fine. I mean, I don't really have like a solid 1-star.
That's great.
I can't really think of anything super negative that's happened. So yeah, I don't have that to share. I mean, I had a bit of a headache on Friday after the boozy brunch, but that was really self-inflicted.
Yeah.
I can either drink during the day or I can drink at night. I can't do both.
No.
And I also need to remember that when I have like a champagne sugary drink, I'm not going to feel good.
No.
Like immediately after.
Especially not in the middle of the day.
Yeah. So I mean, that was my bad. But other than that, it's been a splendid week. So
there you go. Lauren, what about you? Any highs and lows from your week?
I actually just returned from a trip to Texas. So I was in Dallas on Friday night, and I was Saturday night.
I feel like I knew this. You were at Blush, right?
Yes.
Oh, we love Blush.
It was like a 10. It was so great. It's the first time I've been in Dallas, and I don't even know, like ages. And we had a wonderful event it was for a paperback re-release of a football romance of mine called A Wild Card Kiss, single dad runaway bride romance. And Blush hosted me, and it was just amazing. Like, it sold out, which I was very happy about. And we all fit in there.
Absolutely.
And their store is so precious.
It's so cute. Rachel and I did a full-on photo shoot in it.
Yeah.
So
the Blush bookstore is beautiful. Their Christmas decorations are superb. You have to check it out if you're in the Dallas area. And it was just a really, really lovely event. And the readers I love all my readers. I love all readers. But they were just so lovely. Like, oh, I was so excited as soon as I heard about this. And they just really welcomed me in a fantastic way. And then I went to Austin, and I did an event at the Flutter bookstore in Austin by Laura Page, who is a dear friend of mine. And they put together a fantastic event for my favorite holidays. So I feel like those were all 10 out of 10. Now, I do have a 1. I try to be a positive person generally. So my 1 eventually turned into a 5. And it was kind of funny because when I was heading to Dallas, my business manager was meeting me there. She was going to the events with me, and she texted me while I was on the runway. We were coming from separate areas of the country. She was already there. She said, "Did you get the codes for the hotel?" I said, "What are you talking about? What codes do we need for the hotel?" She's like, "You need codes to get in. It's not staffed after 5 p.m." And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" And then she's like, "Yeah, you have to text the hotel to get the information to enter the hotel." And I'm like, that doesn't sound like a hotel at all.
No, it doesn't.
I think this hotel already. And to make a long story short, I called my husband from the runway. We were about to take off, and I was like, "Go to the tour itinerary doc. Please find another hotel close to the Blush bookstore. Make sure it's a real hotel. I think I accidentally booked us into like some kind of Airbnb that's contactless, and I have to arrive at 1 a.m. and I'm not going to be like dragging my suitcases through Dallas and punching in codes."
No.
I got to switch to the Hyatt Regency. So it turned into a 5.
Perfect. That sounds way better than a contactless hotel situation.
And housekeeping also.
No, couldn't be me. Yeah, no. Okay, well, I'm glad that turned out well, because that would have been like 1 a.m. traipsing through, through anywhere. But like, you don't want to be in an unfamiliar place where you're trying to figure out what to do, and then you have to find a code to your hotel. That sounds terrible.
Not fun.
But I'm glad you had fun in Texas. And I really do feel like Neely and I have talked about this a lot. I think the Dallas, well, that's what we know, but the Dallas book community is just so lovely and so wonderful. And specifically the romance book community too, just like very open and loving. So I'm glad that you also experienced that. I think we also had a very holiday filled weekend. We did, our town does a Christmas parade. And so my oldest was in the Christmas parade on Saturday morning. And so that was a lot of fun to get to see her. I think she was very much like, okay, I did that once. I don't want to do it again. Like, it was very cold. And they were just riding on the float. It was like holidays around the world. And so their float was, apparently gingerbread comes from Germany. So they were, their country that they were assigned was Germany, and they did like a gingerbread float. It was very cute. They won a prize. We didn't even know there were prizes, so it was a happy surprise. They won like first place in the youth category, and like, it was very Hallmark movie. I know. So we had fun doing that, and then we went on Saturday night and saw like Lights on the Farm kind of thing, which was a lot of fun. And they had these dry ice bubbles.
Is that the thing in Plano?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going in a couple weeks for the Grinch night. We've never been, but Andrew entered some sort of contest and won free tickets.
I love that.
So we were like, okay, we'll go.
It's so fun. We went last year and we loved it.
Do you have to walk?
So we booked it again. It's very small. Like it's not a ton of walking, but you do have to walk. Like it's like an outdoor walking area, but they have like little fire pits set up, and like it's very, very cute. I really like it. And but they had these dry ice bubbles, and there's like the snow, and I feel like you see the snow where they do like the soap one, and like that just nobody wants that. And so this year they had these bubbles that were like, if you could catch them, if you had gloves on, and then they popped and it was like smoke that came out. I don't know. It was very cool. So that was another 5-star. This podcast has been rescheduled because I was sick before, and I got sick again on Friday. So I was very worried that it was going to be a repeat of our rescheduling, but I went to the doctor and got antibiotics, and I'm feeling so much better. So that was like a 1 that turned into a 5. I get sinus infection. So Neely was talking about how it's finally cold here in Dallas, and I feel like my sinuses, like if the weather has a severe change, my sinuses are like, well, it is time to be infected. So every time that happens. And so thankfully I was able to get into the doctor on Friday morning and get that taken care of, but it was a very close call. I was like, I cannot be sick anymore. I'm done this. I cannot do this anymore. So we got it taken care of. But those are my 1s and 5s. And my other 5 is my hair. Y'all, I'm so embarrassed because I need to dye my hair so bad. It's like gleaming white in the sun right now along my roots. And my husband's doing it for me after we get off this call. So I'm like, it's another 1 that's going to turn into a 5. I'm like, I am too young to be fully gray. I refuse to embrace it. You know, like I love that people who are ready to embrace their grays. I love that. I've been gray since no, I'm not. And I have had gray hair since I was in college, probably before that. And I'm like, I'm not ready. So I shall keep dyeing it.
I haven't experienced it yet, but as soon as I do, I'll be dyeing my hair. Like, I'll be dyeing my hair.
My brother, who's only 2 years younger than me, texted me a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, I found my first gray hair, and I was like, I'm so sad for you. This is so sad. This is my little pity violin that I'm playing for you. So yeah.
Well, I am reading a holiday book. So
what are you reading?
I just started it. I started it last night, so I'm not currently like super far in, but it's called Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon. It was recommended to me by my friend Katie. And she was like, but it's not smutty. I'm like, well, I don't actually read as many smutty books as someone would think.
I don't have to only read smut.
And I don't know.
Read other books.
But the main characters aren't like 22. Like it's like a woman that's like in her 30s, and like
I love it.
I don't know. I'm not very far in, but I'm very excited because I've been seeing it a lot online, and everyone's like, it's really, really good. So I was just like feeling the mood for a holiday book. So
great things about that.
Yeah, I will update y'all, but yeah, I'm excited to continue.
Lauren, what about you? Are you reading or watching anything or listening?
I read on my Kindle, and I also listen to audiobooks. I usually have a couple books going at once, and I'm definitely feeling the Christmas spirit because I've been reading Christmas People, which is a super fun concept. The heroine, who is a Scroogey, she sort of feels like life is, things are not happening the way she envisioned, as many heroines often feel. And she winds up back in her small town, and kind of overnight, it transforms into heartfelt, which is the equivalent of a Hallmark movie. So she's trapped inside a Christmas Hallmark movie, and sort of has to, work through some of her issues while she's trapped inside a Christmas Hallmark movie. It's a really, really fun concept. And then I'm actually listening to Good Spirits by B.K. Borison, who I love and I'm just obsessed with. And I couldn't listen to it while I was getting ready this morning because I'm near the end. I'm like, I know I'm going to cry. I know it'll all be fun in the end. Like,
I just
cry. So.
Yes. It's a phenomenal book.
I haven't read it, but I'm doing a partnership with Book of the Month on Instagram, and that was the book, or one of the 2 books that I picked. So I think I'm going to read that next. I'm really excited.
So good.
I love her. She's just a queen of swoon.
Yeah, I've read her other stuff, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, you will, it's smart of you to wait because you will tear up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hot mouth. And just so good. Okay, what am I'm reading? I am reading a romantasy right now. It is book 2 in the Shattered Crown series by Gretchen Powell Fox. Splintered Kingdom is the name of it, and I am now like 76% into it, and it's like at the really good part where like a bunch of action's about to start happening. So it's like where it gets hard to put it down. So I am really excited about that. And then I haven't started watching this yet, but I am going to probably tonight because everybody's talking about it and it's heated rivalry. And I am like, I keep getting all of the like edits on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm like, I cannot wait. I had a really busy week last week, so I couldn't sit down and every night when the kids went to bed. I was like, now it's time for me to go to bed. But I think tonight's the night that I'm going to start it. So everybody stay tuned. I will give an update because I'm very excited. I've heard it's just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we ready to dive into the interview?
Ready.
Okay. We always start with a silly question, and that is we call it your villain origin story, okay? But that is just how you got to where you are today. So like, give us wherever you want to start, your background of how you got into writing. Were you always a romance reader? Was it always going to be romance writing? Kind of give us a overview, however long or short you want to make it.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I am somebody who's been in love with romance my whole life. When I was 10, 11, 12, I discovered Sidney Sheldon and Danielle Steele. And I just remember like being in my bedroom, devouring these paperbacks. Like, oh my God, Jackie Collins, like this is so fantastic. And then there's like one Jackie Collins novel where he dies while he's inside her. Like, I was into rigor mortis. Like I learned what rigor mortis was from like a Jackie Collins novel. I mean, it was like crazy. They were like called bonkbusters.
That took a turn.
Sorry.
That is not where I was expecting that to go, but okay. Here we are.
And there was like, it was just wild, soapy stuff that was happening in some of these books. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm like eating it up. And Danielle Steele had this book, I believe it was called either The Ring or The Promise. And it was, like this classic, like amnesia car accident. She has a different face from a plastic surgeon. Will he recognize her again? I mean, it was
Lord.
Obsessed with that when I was in middle school and entering high school. I just thought it was fantastic. And then, life takes you in different directions. I wound up working as a journalist, and then I kind of fell back in love with romance in the early 2000s with the explosion of what was called chick lit at the time. You had Emily Giffin and Jane Green, and I just thought, oh my God, this is so fantastic. I really need to try my hand at it, because I thought for a while, I'm happy to just kind of be writing about. I wrote about business. It was not terribly exciting, but I was a journalist covering like different, like a B2B type of journalist. And I thought, well, maybe I actually don't just want to write about media and advertising. Like maybe I want to write about this thing that I love reading and love watching and romantic comedies and so on. So I tried my hand at it and tried to publish. I had written 3 kind of chick lit type of novels, tried to get them published without any success. And then the world sometimes gives you the kick in the butt that you need. And it was right in 2012. And things were falling apart for a lot of people economically. Businesses were changing and cratering. I lost a number of clients, and it was just kind of, okay, this is time. Like it was sink or swim. And a friend of mine had said, why don't you polish off those chick lit novels, kind of update them, read some Sylvia Day, read some E.L. James, just really look at what's happening with self-publishing and give it a shot. And it was what made sense at the time, because I could kind of see the writing on the wall. I mean, journalism had completely changed, and all of the businesses that I had been in were changing, and there really wasn't any business anymore.
Yeah.
In a meaningful type of way. So it took, dusted off one of my novels. I'm like, all right, let's make this, more romantic. Let's make it sexier. And then I put it on Kindle, and I was fortunate enough to find an audience. And I kind of made myself a promise, like, okay, if I sell 10,000, digital copies, I'll write another one, and so on. And I set these little markers, and I was fortunate enough through blogs and Facebook at the time, to be able to find enough of an audience to kind of keep going. And one thing led to another. I had some successful series like Seductive Nights and Big Rock. And then I was able to just sort of stay consistent and keep writing, which to me is really the most important thing, which is consistency. Like the market shifts, and we've all seen a lot of fascinating shifts recently. The pandemic, and TikTok, book talk, like all of that. I think the key is like stay with it, but also make sure you're not falling behind. Like make sure you're paying attention to what is happening, and your writing and your storytelling and your marketing is evolving.
It is such an interesting balance, and we can talk more about that too. Of just like you have been writing this for the long. Are my headphones making weird noises?
Okay. It's just very loud.
It's very loud. Okay, I'll try and talk quieter. I'm a very loud.
It's okay. Person. I turned it down.
Okay, like I'm really loud. I think it's really interesting you saying that, because you've kind of been through, so many different facets of the self-publishing industry, and then like getting into the pandemic and getting in, TikTok becoming so prevalent in the book space, and really that finding that balance of how do you stay true to yourself and what you love writing, while also keeping up with what is new and what's coming. So how do you feel like you find that balance?
Willing to. I think if I were writing characters the same way I did in 2012 or 2015, I don't think I would be finding the audiences that I'm still able to find today. You have to look at what readers want. I think sort of back in like my first big breakout series was Big Rock in 2016, and it was a very it was all male POV. It was swaggery. I mean, they were cinnamon rolls underneath, but a lot of them were playboys. And I think for the most part, that playboy archetype has kind of archetype.
I knew what you meant.
Fallen out of favor. Like you look at them where like maybe he'd been with somebody else a month ago, or kind of was like New York's like playboy and everybody knew, and he had to zip it up, and that was fine at the time. And I don't think that is as appealing anymore to readers. Readers have evolved. So I think as an author, if you want to stay current, it's important to understand what the readers want. Like I still write cinnamon rolls. That's kind of core to what I do. But I don't really write guys who are kind of like swinging around the city.
Yeah.
Most of the time these days, like they haven't been with anyone for a year, like same as the heroine. Like, it's been a while for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the readers want. I don't feel like it changes anything about my core values. Like it's just, this is still a good man who is devoted to her. It's going to talk dirty. It's going to treat her incredibly well. It's going to shower her with gifts. It's going to have his own issues to work through, as they do. But I think it's just a matter of listening to the market and making sure you're able to take what it is that you like and broaden it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and it's an interesting, thought to change something that's not a core, right, to like who you are as a writer. So it's not like you're writing it and you're like, oh, I don't resonate with this at all. Like you can still resonate with that kind of different male archetype, but noticing, because I agree with you, you don't get a whole lot of like alpha holes anymore, right? It's a lot more like hotly pathetic men.
Hotly
my
pathetic.
Favorite. I love a hot, pathetic man. We love
who doesn't?
Yeah, no.
Like the obsessed hero was not a thing 10 years ago, and it's huge now. So I just think it's important to figure out like how do you make that work with the type of tropes and stories and characters that you like delivering. And it's kind of fun. To me, it's like a puzzle because I've written a lot of books. I've written over, I think, 120 or 130. So I actually like really being able to kind of listen to readers and to the market and understand what it is that's resonating right now, because it appeals to the part of my brain that likes puzzles, that enjoys jigsaw puzzles and crosswords and that type of thing.
I feel that.
Yeah.
And I just enjoy puzzles. So not figuring out what people want to read, but just like, were you ever a Wordle person?
Wordle,
did you ever do Wordle?
Yes. Yeah.
I still do Wordle every day.
Yep.
Okay. Do you ever do the connections?
Yeah.
Do you do connections?
I did it pretty regularly for a while, and honestly, when I started traveling a lot this fall, like it was one thing that sort of fell by the wayside. I didn't need to get back to it.
I love them. I will say when Wordle first started, and I can't remember when that was. Was it during the pandemic?
That's 4 years now, I think.
Okay, yeah. Maybe it was, because I can remember I would do it first thing every day, and now I usually do it at night.
Yeah.
But I love Wordle. Like, I will say, like, that's one thing. And I'm like such a creature of habit. By the way, this is a very niche thing. So if you're listening to this and you're like, what are they talking about? I don't know. I feel like Wordle isn't quite, at least it's not as talked about. Maybe it's still as popular, but like,
yeah. But people were posting, when it first started, people were posting every day their like grid of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I never did it, but people were like very.
Well, and there are times that I'll do connections and I get them all right, like perfect. And I'm like, I feel so smart. And then there are days where I look at it and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is happening here.
Okay, that's
like,
how are these things possibly connected? If you get Wordle in like under 3 or 4 minutes, it's so satisfying.
So satisfying.
Like,
if it takes me longer than that, I'm like, we'll try again tomorrow.
Frustrating. There's a certain point where it's exhausting and you're like, really? Sweet?
One time I got it on the first try and I was like, I'm going to ride this high for a while because that'll never happen again.
And you're still talking about it. It's still your 5 star.
It's been 3 years, guys. I'm still riding that high. All right, sorry. Back to the interview. That was just a very random.
That was a good aside. Okay, so talk to us, give us a little, for anybody who hasn't read it yet, give us a little bit about My Favorite Holiday, and talk to us about maybe what you love about a Christmas or a holiday romance.
So My Favorite Holiday is sort of like Hallmark but smutty. It's basically like all the good vibes that you get.
All I want in life.
It's all we want.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, imagine you live in a Christmas town and like you get to, bang a hot billionaire who's also
I literally listen. I was thinking today how I haven't watched enough Hallmark movies yet, and I was like, all I want to do is lay on the couch and just watch the same movie over and over again, cosplaying as different movies.
I need like HBO to come out with like Hallmark After Dark. Like I really need us to start
Hallmark After Dark episode title.
Yeah, there we go.
Write it down, Rachel.
To start adapting.
To hear this podcast, like, oh my god, you have
Hallmark After Dark.
Listen, I better get like residuals from that if that starts happening.
Did HBO just buy Netflix, or was that a fever dream?
Yeah,
guys, I don't know. Something happened.
Yeah.
Something. All right. I was like, it wasn't HBO, right? Like that seems not correct.
Well, they're all getting bigger and consolidating. So,
I mean, listen, I have a really hard time with that because like we don't live in a society where we're supposed to have monopolies. And I do feel like for the most part, 5 people, like 5 specific billionaires just like run the world.
Yeah.
And I just really, the liberal in me like really, really hates it. And so when I see those big deals happen, I'm just like, we're just getting closer and closer to that. But then I wonder, like, will there be a point where we pay like $50 a month and we can just watch anything? Because like, I wish, right? Like, nice. I feel like all we do, but I feel like all we do is pay like $1 billion for all these different services. And then we watch like the same 2 things.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does feel that way. And everything you said.
Yeah. Anyway, so you have an ethical billionaire who is in.
Yeah. So My Favorite Holiday is basically fake dating your hot billionaire boss at Christmas time. So our heroine, who is of course a plucky, feisty jewelry designer, her boyfriend very quickly in chapter 1 becomes her ex-boyfriend when she discovers the caterer at the Thanksgiving party sucking his candy cane. So goodbye ex. But unfortunately, her ex is going to be a groomsman in her sister's upcoming Christmas wedding. So her hot ethical billionaire boss, Wilder Blaine, who has been secretly crushing on her from afar, cue the obsessed hero trope.
Obsessed, yeah.
And offers to fake date her during Christmas time and also show her how a woman should be treated. So we've got office romance, we've got all sorts of Christmas parties, Christmas shenanigans, and then they go to Evergreen Falls, which is sort of like my dream Christmas town, and there's a Christmas competition there, and they get snowed in.
We love that.
That's the best holiday trope, I think. Like out of all of the ones that are like holiday specific, if you're not getting snowed in, it's like one bed at the end, right? If you're not getting
snowed in, why are you here? No.
Why? Why are we here? Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why does the inn have 2 beds? That's not supposed to happen.
One bed.
One bed.
Always.
One bed. I do really love, one day somebody will write it before me probably, but if they don't, I'm going to do one of those where you just hit like all of the like reverse tropes where it's like too many beds at the end, so it's like they walk in and there's actually like 4, it's like bunk beds,
It's a bunk room, like, really?
Yeah.
It's like when you rent an Airbnb at a lake and there's just a room of like 10 bunk beds.
It's just a room of bunk beds. Yeah. Yeah. Like that's what it's going to be. So,
but she's afraid of heights.
Yeah. They've got to be on the bottom bunk together, and it's a twin bed. Yeah. Yeah.
And he has to sleep in like a feng shui way where he has to be like facing west or something.
Yes.
I'll write it for you. It's fine.
Thank you. Okay, so why holiday romance? Why do you like writing holiday romance? Why do you feel like people love reading holiday romance? Talk to us a little bit about that.
I think it's just such a wonderful escape. I want to say I discovered it for myself because, of course, it's been around. Like I loved Love Actually for a very long time, and then I thought, oh, is this problematic?
I was like, we have thoughts on
Rachel and I are like. We've spent many hours on this podcast talking about how everyone in that movie is terrible, except for Emma Thompson.
Yes, exactly. And like one of my favorite lines that like I quote all the time is, it's just like, I love her like your wife loves Joni Mitchell. And I'm like, that's how I feel about BK Boris. I'm like, I love her like Emma Thompson loves Joni Mitchell. Because everyone is problematic in that movie. And I kept watching it year over year, and then I was like, oh, why do I still, and now I just kind of, my husband and I will just like fast forward through the bits we don't like. So it gets it down to like maybe a 15-minute movie. Still so much that is kind of comforting in this, in a weird way.
Everyone is so terrible in that movie. Like that movie there's not a chance that movie gets made in 2025.
No, it doesn't. Like
there's no way.
Relationship, the rock star with his manager, like he's such a dick to him. You're like, what? Why are you
that to me is like the least offensive part of the whole movie. I'm like, they're calling this girl fat nonstop throughout the movie, who is not fat. It bothers me so much.
Yeah.
All right.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. Like everything about that movie is awful. But at least you get to see Hugh Grant dancing down the steps.
Best part.
I know. So we'll just watch that on repeat for an hour and a half.
Like I just love holiday movies. But then I think when I started to dive into holiday romance and discovered it on my Kindle, it was probably I think I read like some holiday Christmas novella and the heroine's name was Candy Cane. I'm just like, oh, this is like the perfect escape. And then I just kept going down these rabbit holes every year around Christmas time, like watching all of the Hallmark and Netflix and Amazon Prime movies and just everything. And my husband is sort of like equally obsessed. Like October starts and that stock video of snow in the city better be falling as soon as the movie starts. And I thought, I need to do this. Like, if I love it this much, obviously you can see, they can't see how I'm dressed.
Yeah.
And I'm not, like, I don't throw Christmas parties. I don't actually decorate for Christmas. I just have Christmas trees. Like, I'm obsessed with Christmas lights. I love Christmas music. As a kid, I just loved it. And I just thought, why am I not doing this?
Yeah. This is very relatable. I love Christmas.
So other people.
Yeah. for sure. You're right. It is such a joy-filled season, hopefully, for the most part. And it's something that I think all of us can kind of identify with some portion of it, right? Like there's a shared experience there, that no matter if it's the billionaire or like whatever it is, there's something that we can all take from it. So I love that. Okay, moving away from, well, I mean, we could still talk about holiday rants, but asking some other questions. You have written so many main characters. So let's talk about in My Favorite Holiday. Which one of your main characters do you feel like you most identify with and why?
Oh, wow. Okay. So Fable or Wilder. Honestly, if I were to pick who I most identify with in My Favorite Holiday, it would probably be BB. I feel like I would be like, that's the hero's aunt who kind of handles all these machinations for his love life and is constantly trying to set him up. I feel like I would very much be an MP. They're like, you should go out with this person and see if I can move. But I'm a romance writer. That's essentially.
Yes, you're orchestrating. Yep.
It's going to connect with that matchmaker type.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm probably I'm probably Fable. She's creative and also very independent minded, and she's afraid to be vulnerable, and that's something that I have struggled with my entire life. It's why I go to therapy. It's why I'm still in therapy.
Yeah,
learning how to
preach
people, and something that it's like a 20-year journey. I don't feel that I'm there, but I try as much as I can, and the daily moments, even if like I want to kind of be in this very interior space, like with my own thoughts and my dogs, where I feel very safe being vulnerable. So I can remind myself, like, okay, I'm gonna like hug my husband and tell him I love him. I'm gonna just just make sure that I'm connecting with other people, make sure my friends know that I love them. And I think I've become much better at that over the last several years. So yeah, Mabel's definitely got a piece of me in her.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting. I was talking with my therapist about this. Because I am not like, I don't want to be vulnerable either. And I don't want to, like, if it's not going to be well received, or if I'm, like, I'm very much like concerned about like what other people are thinking and all of that. And so then makes it hard to open up. But then you choose a career that is like, writing is so vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it's like you are constantly pushing up against that thing that you work so hard to like suppress, right? Which is probably good for us. But my therapist the other day was like, I wonder why you chose this. And I was like, that is a great question.
I think like maybe we ultimately wanted to work through it, and we needed so it's almost like a parallel path, like through career or whatever, to kind of help like work through some of these things. It's like, like I think a lot of times we can know what it is that's challenging for us, that's hard for us, and maybe we want to overcome it, but we don't exactly know how. So it's like you want to find these other outlets, and it teaches you like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you make the fictional people work through their issues, right? Yeah.
Hopefully, if you work enough fictional people through it, right, you're cured.
I hope so. Fingers crossed. Okay, you've probably written every trope that there is. So, what has been your favorite one to write, or maybe one that you're dying to revisit?
I do love friends to lovers, and I was thinking about this recently. I think it came up at the Blush bookstore in terms of tropes, and that has been such a staple for me. Big Rock is Friends to Lovers. In my recent Love and Hockey romance, the third book, The Proposal Play, is Friends to Lovers. Plays well with others is Friends to Lovers. And I love it because it just has, I haven't done it in maybe a year. So I'm like, oh, I need to go back to that. But I love it because it has true natural conflict built into it. I feel like the brother's best friend trope, which I also do a lot, the conflict in that, as we've sort of moved away from Playboy heroes, has lessened. So it's become so brother's best friend is kind of fun to play with in terms of turning it on its head and really looking at like, this is not about like, don't touch my sister, it's more like, I'm looking out for her, and you have to make sure you're 100% the man for her. Like, are you ready for it after you had your heart broken?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking out for you now too, man.
Yeah. Bro relationships.
To kind of turn that on its head, but I think Friends with Lovers is true. Like, what if they act upon this? Like, what does happen to this real and deep friendship? And I feel like that is, it's kind of like if you go into business with a friend, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you decide to co-write a book with a friend. Maybe you decide to open a bookstore with a friend. Like, whatever it is, like, what is that going to do to your friendship when you're having to make business decisions together? And I feel like that's very much what the Friends to Lovers romance trope is. So it's fun to kind of explore that. These people that have known each other, and of course, touching on this secretly the whole time.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So I need to get back to that one because I haven't done it in a while, and I'm kind of ready for it again.
That's such an interesting take on the trope of, it really does have this very natural conflict built into it that I've never really thought about it that way, because there is a lot on the line, right? Like, it doesn't work, and you don't have a best friend anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, it's always going to work because this is romance. But
like,
what if
fake dating the best friend at Christmas?
Tell me more. Tell me less. Tell me everything.
You're like, I literally just came up with that right now.
Like, Christmas 27, Christmas 28, who knows?
Perfect. We'll keep our eyes out for it. Yes. Okay. What has been your most fun book to write? Which is probably another really hard question for you, but
I would actually say it's probably Double Pucked. And Double Pucked is a book that I put out in June of 2023. As the name suggests, she gets with two hockey stars, and it's an MFM romance, and which means she does actually wind up with both of them at the end. And it was a book that I wrote on a lark. It all started because I saw a TikTok video by a hot veterinarian who has since become like a character called the Hot Vet in a bunch of my books. I saw this TikTok on Valentine's Day of 2023, where I actually kind of I stitched it when Double Puck came out. His name is Hunter Finn, where he said just made a dog throw up a pair of panties, and now the couple is debating whose panties it is. And I was like, oh my God, that's such a perfect starting point for a book. And
that's hilarious.
My writer friends are like, you're going to write this book. I'm like, I know. We didn't really know what else was happening. And then a few months later, Emily Rath's Fucking Around took off. And I was like, so fascinating. Like, this demand for polyamorous hockey romance. I wonder if I could do something like it. And I had a lunch with an influencer at the time. We were kind of batting around these ideas. And I was like, wait, maybe that's what I should do. So I went home and I messaged Laura Lynn Page. I'm like, what if we combine these two? And I said, should she? And so she discovers her ex is cheating on her because of her beloved dog who barks up the panties. She takes him to the vet. It turns out it's like belongs to they're not her panties. Oh my God! So she steals his 2 VIP hockey tickets, which is what he values most in the world, and it's to a game that's being played by 2 rival teams in the same city. And originally I thought it was going to be the hot vet and a hockey player were going to be the 2 guys. And Laura Lynn's like, no, it's Double Puck, Lauren. It's going to be the 2 hockey players. Thank God. Thank God she said that to me. And I wrote the book in 3 weeks. And it was just like, I was taking this chance. I was rolling the dice. I just wanted to see, I felt like there was something happening in the market. And I had this just zany, outrageous idea. And I felt like I kind of just let myself be a little bit outrageous. And then, let's just see what happens when she gets with 2 hockey players.
Who doesn't want to know what happens when you get with 2 hockey players? I thought,
but bless her,
It's questions we all ask ourselves, right?
Truly.
Okay. Which of your books... which of your books would you want turned into a show or a movie? And maybe it's the same answer, but which one would you love to see adapted?
I would really love to see My Favorite Holiday or Merry Little Christmas, my 2 Christmas books, turned into a movie, because I think it's just they're kind of designed to be cinematic in a way, because I'm imagining this Christmas world, and I'm trying. And because I think it is very important when you're writing a Christmas novel to make sure it is immersive. I've picked up a couple of Christmas books where there are no twinkling lights. There's no mention of snow in the first chapter. There's no mention of hot cocoa. I'm like, I'm not there. I'm not feeling it. I want to be in this world. So I think they're sort of designed by design to feel kind of visual and cinematic. And I love the genre. So I would love to see that. And if it were a series, I would probably pick my Love and Hockey series that I'm just, this is the final book is coming out this week on December 12th on The Flirting Game. Just, it's like just sort of a fun, frothy hockey rom-com series. But, each book kind of explores like a little bit of an issue, whether it's like mental health or different things that the characters are going through or anxiety. And I think it's kind of a nice mix of what we often see succeeds in series today. Like we don't really have just pure comedies. Like it's dramedies, and that's what's working. It's comedy that is unafraid to explore what is actually happening in our real lives that is imperfect.
Yeah, I think Hallmark After Dark needs to.
You heard it here first, guys. Hallmark After Dark.
We're ready. We are.
You're
ready.
welcome, HBO.
Yeah. Listen, capitalize on the romance readers are already there. They're already watching Heated Rivalry on HBO. Like, just roll it in.
Yeah.
Roll it in. Okay. How has the world of Book Talk and Bookstagram, we kind of touched on that a little bit. You've been writing long before Book Talk and Bookstagram became a thing. So how has that changed things for you, or even just how have you noticed it changing things in the book sphere?
Authors, you need to make sure if you're comfortable with it, you need to be able to interact with readers on those platforms. And sometimes it might mean doing more videos. Sometimes it might mean actually like being in the videos. If that's not your cup of tea, I think it's important to kind of figure out like what is the way that you can use this platform if you're not actually going to be on video yourself. Like what is the way you're going to use this platform where you can truly interact with your readers? And I'm not a social media expert, so I'm not going to suggest what it would be per se, but I think that unless you are at a certain level, it's important to be in those places, and we can't just put our head in the sand and say, I don't like that. And the more you're able to like actually embrace what's happening on Book Talk and what's happening on Bookstagram and participate in a way that's authentic to you, I think that's the way an author can have success in those spaces. Is you can't just kind of come in and guns a blazing and not really understand it. Like you need to kind of try to love it. That I think is important for authors. Is like if you're not into it, it's gonna show. Like if you don't like your readers, it's gonna show. Like if you go to a bookstore event and you don't want to be there, like people can see that. So like really be honest with yourself about like who you are and where you can be and how you can participate. And if you are an antisocial hermit, like try to find the element that speaks to you so that you can connect with readers because they're there and want to have that connection. So I think once like I spent enough time in both places and started to understand them more and what was happening, and kind of let go of like my inner Grinch about being on video. I'm like, all right, that's fine. It's a hair and makeup day.
Yeah.
I mean, just do it,
Yeah. You really do kind of have to. And the more you get, the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get, right? So it's not easy. It is hard, but I think you have to just do it and you have to kind of put yourself out there. There's that sound that's going around now that's like, aren't you embarrassed? And it's like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. It makes me laugh every time.
Aren't you embarrassed?
Yes. Yes, I am. I love that. Okay, well, kind of along the same lines, what advice do you have for aspiring authors?
I love this question. I was thinking about it as I was doing my makeup because normally I would just talk about editing, but I actually have advice about friendship as well. So the first thing I would say is I edit ruthlessly. I think a lot of writers think their work is ready when it's not, and that doesn't mean it can't be ready. But like just edit sober, and edit again and hire good editors and read it and like really make sure that it's ready to be out there. Like, it's okay if you need to take another week to make sure it's solid, or maybe you need to take another month, like whatever it is, embrace the editing process. And the other thing I would say is really try to have friends. And it's not just that they make our lives better. They do. But I think that when you have friends that you truly can rely on and count on, you can look out for each other and keep each other honest. Like, I think about the two of you and kind of like the way I see your friendship. And I imagine, when you're not doing this podcast, you're like looking out for each other. Like, if you had spilled something, Rachel, Neely would tell you,
No.
Like so much more to that in life, right? It's like, like I know I have, Natasha Madison and Krim Michaels and Melanie Harlow and Laurel and Paige. Like, tell me if I've made a mistake. Like, this cover is not going to work, or you shouldn't have posted that online, or don't ask that in a group. It's not that, it's not that type of thing. Or like, if you're sad about something that you don't need to share with your readers, go to your friends. Because I think that you don't have to share everything with your readers. I think like really cultivating a friendship is not only just so good for your mental health and for life and for loneliness and socialization and all of that, like it keeps you honest and it keeps you in touch so that you don't believe your own hype all of the time. You need to be real, right?
Yeah. Somebody to bring you back down to earth sometimes. I love that. That's great advice. And it's hard. It's difficult. How do you feel like that? What's the best way to go about? Because it's difficult. What I found is it's really hard to make friends in an industry that is everybody's spread out, right? Like your coworkers, so to speak, are all over the country. Your peers, and it's hard to make online friends. How do you go about doing that?
And it is true. It definitely is. And I do think it's also helpful to find friends that are kind of at the same place in their publishing career. And I don't mean like, oh, you should only, only successful authors at this level should only interact with successful. I just mean like if you've been doing it for 10 years, like it's probably helpful if your core friendship group has been doing it around that time, because there's that experience.
Right.
So I'd say if you are a newer author, look on Facebook. I think that's still for better or for worse where a lot of the author groups are. And also just like reach out to them. I mean, I still every day I'm like reaching out to new authors about, would you like to do a promo together? Would you like to do a giveaway together? Like, I love your books. I would love to do, like an Instagram paperback giveaway. And it's part of, putting yourself out there. So I think in terms of, it's the same skills that we need to use when we're reaching out to others for potential promotion is what authors need to do in terms of friendship. Like, hey, I see that you're releasing a book, would love to chat with you more about it. Or maybe it even starts as like, hey, should we promote each other's books? And then it evolves into a friendship. But, sometimes like you just have to decide, like, I'm going to be, these are my people. I mean, I have several daily group chats with obviously different groups of authors, and we check in with each other. I mean, Natasha Madison is like, hey, this is where I'm at in my book. This is what I'm working on today. What are you all doing? And like, we know where we're at with our books, but also I know like where Laura Pavlov is at with the home she's moving into. Like, they know dad just moved to Seattle and that he's reading Christmas stories of the place where he lives tonight. So I'm going to go listen to those and so on. I know that it was A.L. Jackson's birthday and she had a good time. So just like it all just kind of evolves, but you have to do it. Like, it's like writing, put your butt in the chair, send the group text to the friend, and just like, we're gonna be friends.
Forced friendship. That's how it works. Yes. Yeah.
It happen.
Yeah. This is going to happen. You have no choice. I love that. That is how I have all of my friends. They don't have a choice. So.
Forced friendships.
Yeah, it's forced friendship. Okay, our last question that we always ask people that come on the podcast is, what is a have-to-read book that you are always telling people about?
I am obsessed with Ashley Poston. I love her. I have read all of her adult romances, from The Dead Romantics to A Novel Love Story to Sounds Like Love. So I would have to say The 7-Year Slip is like my big go-to.
I love that book so much.
It's phenomenal. Like,
it's so good.
Heartachy and beautiful, and and it's lyrical. That's the way you describe chocolate. Like it's like chocolate's like a poem or something. I don't even know. It's so good, and just like the weaving of the time travel love story. So I'd have to say Ashley Poston is really up there for me with the 7 Year Slip. And, like many others, I'm obsessed with BK Boris, and First Time Caller was just another, like, like just sort of kind of just, like, I just love, like, a big swoony. And, I think that what BK does so well is, like, she is unafraid of letting the characters, like, really, truly yearn for love and romance. And that's
we love a yearn. We love a yearn.
Yes. It's so fantastic.
I love it. So good. Okay, next thing we do is a rapid fire this or that. So we're just going to throw a couple of things at you, and first thing that comes to mind. Neely, would you like to start, or do you want me to?
I will start. All right. Slow burn or insta love?
Slow burn.
Hot chocolate or eggnog?
Oh my God, hot chocolate.
I mean, listen, I am sure there are people out there who pick eggnog. I just am not one of them. So would never be me. Okay, holiday date night or cozy at home?
Holiday date night.
Yeah, especially this time of year, you gotta go on that holiday date. I love it. Okay, the last one we do is a pick your praise. So, good girl or look at me.
Good girl.
Yeah. Neely is the winner on that one. I feel like for a while we were leaning towards look at me, like, and now I feel like we're settling the score. I feel like more people have said good girl recently.
I feel like it's pretty evenly split when we ask people.
We're getting there. Yeah. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Please tell people where they can find you.
Oh, thank you for having me. So my books are available on Amazon, also in audio. Some of them are in bookstores, like My Favorite Holiday, and some of my other titles, like A Wild Card Kiss, can be found in bookstores and more in the coming year. And you can find me on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook occasionally. I'm pretty good at answering my own DMs on Instagram.
Nice.
I don't know.
That's impressive.
Opening myself up to something, but like I am there, hanging out there. I do enjoy that platform, so chances are it probably is 75% me that you'll be interacting with.
That's pretty good. Pretty good ratio. I love it. And you can find the podcast everywhere at Smut Show Podcast, and you can find me everywhere at Rachel_M Lewis.
And you can find me everywhere at Neelykins except TikTok, where I'm Neely Moldovan. And we are so glad we had you on, Lauren. And everyone, we will talk to you next time.
Bye.